Alright, so I thought I'd record one more just for the day to show you guys, to get you sort of started. I don't want to leave you where you have this open, you're fired up to connect, and you're not sure where to start in respect to your learning. Um, so there's a bunch of great free resources. I mentioned these in other videos too, in the sense that like I do this with Zero Web Host, but um, this is more of an applications slash full stack like developer with the GitHub and all this other stuff, depending on the studio you're at. If you're at a smaller company, you might do something more along the lines of the Zero Web Host. So what I love is W3 Schools or Infinity Free the site or Tutorials Point. So if you go to tutorialpoint.com, and I'm just going to type in Tutorials Point, and then I'm going to type HTML. And what I'm looking for is HTML tutorials point. And I love this site. And because we've talked about W3 Schools, but you can see here, it starts you off with a template. It explains things. So it's originally HTML was developed, blah, blah, blah. And it has great vocabulary for an interview. So let's take a look at this. So this is a document type of HTML. So I'm going to paste this in here. Now remember they gave us this index2.html. The index that we created here, because it's index.html, it supersedes the one that they had in there. So all of this at this point that I just typed in is going to pop up when I visit this link here, website for exoporphyrial.apz.com. So let's go ahead and go there, and I'm going to hit enter to paste that. Now you might be like, well, I don't see anything. Well, we didn't save it, so I'm going to hit Control S. And then what's wonderful about this is it says, okay, the failed to say blah blah. The content of the file is newer. Please compare your version. So I of course want to compare it because I have a bunch of junk in here. And then it's like, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna hit Control S again, and let's see what's it going on here. Oh, here we go. Overwrite. So sorry about that. So now when I refresh this, you can see this is a heading, Hello World. So this is the site I can actually send people. So remember we were talking about GameStoop. Well, the GameStoop is going to be a sub website built into my portfolio. So the title here should really be Alex Demarjan's Web Portfolio. And then here's the heading here, and then head one is, like we can say, below are the links to various web examples. I know that's not one word. I created. Now, if you're like me and you're not necessarily a professional copywriter, you might have a friend who can help you sort of proofread a lot of this stuff. So I'm going to save that and then refresh it. And you could see that we're kind of working live here with a website. So you can kind of go through these things and you're like, it says audience, prereqs, it explains all this stuff. This is a title, this is a heading, and as you're going through all that. Now, I think honestly, like we're going to go through, like for example, body is essentially where you should be putting a lot of your data. Okay, we'll go into how to connect CSS and all this stuff. I'd like to get into more advanced stuff because I feel like there's a lot of content out there on how to create a paragraph tag and how it shows up, right? So here's a paragraph here, you know, like in this paragraph I can write, I hope you enjoy your stay. But what's more important is if we could build actual games and applications in JavaScript and let them be live in our website, or if we can embed Unity 3D games. So this sort of stuff, follow along with me and we'll build it out. But I want you to be self-directed enough where you're kind of always expanding and building on this without, by just kind of reading through these pre-tags and all this other good stuff. But I will touch on all of this as we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is, like I said here, below the links to various web examples I created, I'm going to hit enter here. And what's cool is you can, inside of Tutorials Point, let me expand this out a little bit. You can see off to the side here, it's got all of this cool stuff, just like W3 Schools. So HTML email links, meta tags, formatting. I say just go through all of this. And just like, like have both open and sort of look at these examples. But remember, we kind of went through forms. We went through all that stuff on previous pages. But like, for example, like say we want to add a form to this page. you know, and say our index, we really want just like here's all this cool stuff, but we're like, okay, form, first name, last name, right? And they have it inside the body. Normally you would create a separate subsection of that, but for now, let's just kind of go with their example. So here I can say, I hope you enjoy your stay. Please contact me if you would like more information, right? So let's save that, take a look at how that looks on our page. Hope you enjoy your stay, please contact me for more information. And then I can just jump back into my Visual Studio here. You know what the heck, we'll just abandon it. And then, oops, that's not what we want. Let's do, we want you. There we go, copy. And then let's paste that in here and save that off. And now, oops. You can see now we have a web form. We don't have a submit button though, but we'll get to all that good stuff. So you can see they show you an example of what it'll produce. All right, so I think that's good for now. Just start setting you up for getting started. And then what we'll start doing is we'll look at something, like I was saying, the GameStoop website, but we'll look at GameStop, and I'll show you how to recreate all of these sort of attributes inside of Photoshop. Like they have GameStop here. We'll start by creating this logo, inserting an image. We'll create a search box in the next video. We'll create this image slider and stuff in future videos.